all remember why Nicole Arbor got backlash from basically the entire internet years ago. We see it mocked, played off as a joke in movies, and many still use it to degrade people to this day. I wanted to talk about something else, maybe later this week if I'm able to, but after watching an episode of What Would You Do? The show about social experiments to display real-life problems publicly to see how people respond to it, there was an episode where a obese woman was at a buffet, and she just gets degraded for, being at a buffet, getting food. My favorite reaction is the last one. That last one is just amazing.
They're big girls. Whoop-de-doo. Do they know you? Do you know them? Who the are you?
I'm just like a customer like everybody
You're
else.
a customer, so is she.
Yeah.
And if she pays to eat here, they should not be harassed to eat here.
Well, you know what? I think that they shouldn't eat so much because I want to be able to eat, and other people are going to come in here too.
There's food here. There's food here. There's food here. There's food here. Eat your food and leave them alone.
Watching that made me want to tell my story because I'm a victim of body shaming myself. For years, ever since I was 13, I had an eating disorder. I wouldn't eat much because a lot of people I went to school with would mock me if I did basically anything. I ate a sandwich, people would crackle at me. I talked about shows I liked, people would mimic me to mock me. So I was very insecure and I stopped eating much because I would get belittled for anything, and I was so skinny that you could see my ribs when I was 13 to 21. My stress at my job got so bad that at one point it got to where it was actually literally hurting me. Like, I could be on the way to work and suddenly my ribs would feel a sharp pain. I just collapse to the ground and just clutch onto my ribs, just waiting for the pain to pass. Then sometimes it started to get to a point where I could be working and suddenly it just happened out of nowhere, and it caused one of my managers to get really freaked out and almost call an ambulance, but I recovered after a bit to learn, no, I'm okay. And there was another time when it happened right in front of my mom, and it freaked her out. I told her it happens, I'm fine. My stress was that bad. I didn't start to gain weight until about later on, before this was happening, and it became more noticeable when I was 22, 23, I don't remember when it started happening, but it became more noticeable that I put on some pounds. I always got comments on it. Here's a picture of me in my Underfill Sans cosplay. It's not even that bad. It's not to a point where it's really messing up my health or anything. It's still considered healthy, but just because my chest got bigger, my booty got bigger, and I got a bit of a gut now, I get comments about it all the time, and I hate it. Even though it's not that bad, I'm still considered fat. But the one that hit me the hardest, the one that messed me up really bad, was one day I was at work, and now the day before I had a dentist appointment and Neil got me pretty deep in my gums, so my gums were kind of hurting the next day at work. I was eating an ice cream cone to try to reduce the pain a bit. It wasn't a big one, it was a tiny one. My manager was on break with me and we were just talking about pillows, so we weren't doing anything to bring attraction to the customers. In the middle of our conversation, I'm just eating a tiny ice cream cone. Suddenly, a customer just stops and he stares at me. He's like, "You shouldn't be eating that." I tried to ignore him and brush him off. I just gave him a little quiet shrug and looking off, hoping that maybe that make him leave me alone. But then he was like, "You used to be super hot." And again, I tried to brush it off, but it was just so sudden, so out of the blue, so out of nowhere, and I did nothing to warrant it, that I literally lost color in my face. I was trying so hard not to tear up as I felt my throat just feel like I was trying to swallow my heart back down. And my manager was fucking horrified how sudden and rude this was. And the guy was actually chuckling all awkwardly, expecting me to laugh at it. He literally basically called me fat and ugly and expected me to laugh and think, har 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 har, so funny. He awkwardly walked out and I was trying very hard not to. Just the shock that messed me up so bad from how sudden this was that I started to tear up. Again, I was trying really hard not to, but it couldn't be helped. Saying that story is just a little example of how messed up people can really be for no reason whatsoever. It's not your fault if it happens, it's completely the other person's fault because you were just minding your own business, you weren't doing anything, and they just decided to talk smack about you for no reason. Yeah, that's not your fault. Don't feel bad about that. People like that are just very biased, are assholes, and expect things to be like completely how they think things should be. It doesn't understand how the other person feels, what they're going through. People are just inconsiderate assholes and expects everything to be their standards. Do not let that get to you. If you really do want to lose some weight and you really don't like your body, there's so much healthy ways to deal with that. Please don't hurt yourself because somebody was an asshole. That's all I really gotta say about that. Again, if you really do want to change your weight, rather if you're too skinny or you feel that you need to lose some weight or something, or you just want to gain some muscles, there's many healthy ways to do it. Just don't do it because people hurt you, because that doesn't end well. Please take care of yourself. Don't let biased assholes ruin your day. And have a nice night.